That's what it's like to have anxiety, dude. It's just the combat music starts up randomly throughout your life.
Dad?
Who is my daddy and what does he do?
Dad?
Daddy, chill.
Dad?
Oh, here we go.
Oh!
Okay. Lots of dad sounds here at the beginning because this is the Dad Voice
Dad
Podcast.
Voice Podcast.
That's right. That's what we're doing here.
Sounds come from your voice.
Sounds do
Something
come
like
from your
that.
voice.
It's
Something-
early.
It is early, but
That's why the dad sounds are more prominent. It's like
yeah.
they happen more in the morning.
Dude, I just feel
when your
like-
family's trying to sleep.
Yeah. Dude, I know I was like brushing my teeth and taking the loudest horse piss I could this morning.
Dude, I'm loud as shit in the mornings and I sound like I'm dying. I'm like, just ignore me. Leave me alone.
Go back to sleep.
Just ignore me.
Especially,
I'm okay.
I get up at 5 a.m. or like 4:45 to get ready for the gym, and then I usually duck out around 5 a.m. And I know that my wife is like, what the, like, when will I ever get a moment of peace? Because I wake up, like I said, I go into the bathroom and I get myself situated. I take my horse piss loud as hell. Even if I'm trying to aim for the side of the bowl, I'm just like so half awake. I'm like, ugh. And then like I weigh myself every morning and I drag our scale out because she likes to tuck it neatly in this corner. And I just use my foot to lazily drag it out. And it's got those rubber feet on it. So it's like, and it's grinding. I step on it.
And then she hears you groan when you step on it.
Yeah.
And then just step off and she's like, Monday.
Slide it back in. And then like I also lately it's been crazy because I've been eating so much protein and I just have these boisterous protein farts. So I know I'm just like letting them rip. Our bathroom's pretty big, so it like echoes a little bit in there. And then I just walk out and like stumble through our dark bedroom. And I mean, I leave all my gym clothes. Like I set them out downstairs in my office area every morning, so that way I'm not dressing and everything and keeping.
I do the same thing. I'm like, I'll be a little less annoying.
Right.
I'll be somewhat considerate.
And so I'll still like stumble like a drunk and then like jiggle with the knob trying to figure it out. And I know that that's why I think like every weekend where I sleep in, she's like, this is the most peaceful moment of my life. Because pretty much every weekend, they typically will wake up and beat me downstairs. And I'll get up about the time I feel them leave the bed because our 3-year-old is like, he sleeps with us most of the time. And I know that she's like, finally, like just a moment of peace because I'm so loud.
Oh, I know as soon as that front door closes and you're out, there's like this big tension release in the house and it gets peaceful and everyone's just like, everyone just goes back to sleep.
She hears me like cussing at the cats at night in the early ass morning. And then you hear my shaker bottle as I'm mixing my pre-workout and then I'm like, chugging water because I just woke up, just all the worst sounds. And then you hear the door open and close, and then I go get in the car, she hears it start and she's like, this is like that ignition. But then I know there's a few moments where I cause a panic because I'll forget like my water.
Oh yeah, you gotta come back in. They're like, no.
She's like, fuck. But aside from dad voices or dad noises, it's all the same thing. Aside from dad noises, we also have dad interest, which is,
we do.
You know, I couldn't think of a clever way to tell
when we've got the time.
By the way, I'm Cole.
I'm Phil.
There we go. I think we forgot to intro ourselves. If we didn't, I'll just cut that out. Today, we're gonna just like, everything's been harder topics to talk about lately. The Dad Blast. I said it on the Dad Blast I think this one will actually be... No, this one will come out the Tuesday after. So the last Dad Blast that we did, I kind of made the point to mention this. But I'm trying to get away from politics. Not to say, again, like I said on the Dad Blast, I don't want anyone to think that we are abandoning our positions or we're doing any of that like shill type, like, oh, we're just bowing out because it's beneficial for our channel. I think that our purpose is greater served by making people laugh. And I think that me allowing myself to get caught up in the discourse is weighing down on me, and it's removing some of that fun energy that we have when we just really have fun with this podcast. So today, that's what we're doing. We're talking about our special dad interests. And this series could probably carry us 7 seasons because I met one of your family's friends last night, and it's what kind of sparked the idea that we kind of get on this series, because I was like just going in about the Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy.
You were. That was hyper specific.
I was just like dialed in.
I mean, it's great. Don't get me wrong.
And I realized, I was like, wow, that's
You were talking about it as if they all came out yesterday.
Yeah, I was like, listen.
You were talking like there haven't been like 10 Batman movies since then.
But it made me think of our specific dad interest, and one that you have wanted to do for a long time, and that we kept saying, we'll get to it. And I think we have the equipment now. We have the time this morning.
We have the equipment and the time. Oh, God, what is it?
Yeah, you wanted to talk about, like, simulation theory, prison world theory.
Yeah, we're that podcast now. We did it.
So we're going to let you... And we need one. I know it's unfortunate that it also happens to be on a morning where you're not feeling great. So we're probably going to have to cut for dad sounds and stuff. But
loud ones.
I wanted one where you could also talk a while, because I know the one before this, I talked a lot because it was about masculinity. You weren't feeling great. I think...
What else is new?
I think it's the same thing that you've got now, but you're just on the back half
I'm the
of
sickly Victorian child. That's all I fucking am, man.
Mama.
I swear to God, my body and soul are that of like some weird inbred royalty from the 1800s who was just constantly sick and pale and sniffly, but everyone had to respect him because he was like part of some bloodline. God forbid.
The consumption got you.
Yeah.
You are the little royal boy who,
The simulation put me in hard mode.
You wouldn't understand any game.
Not really. It put me in easy mode because I'm just a white dude.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
dude, in the simulation, starting as just a white dude in the 2000s is just like doing the tutorial pre-game thing. Or it's like playing on story mode instead of like combat action mode.
Well, like I always think about it like Spider-Man. The Spider-Man games have difficulty settings, and one of them is you can't lose. Like you can't lose.
You can't lose. It's just you want to experience the story.
Yeah,
that's what I'm doing
that's
here.
what it is. And so that's you. That's where
just
you
walking in anywhere, anytime. Just not getting tackled by cops or anything. I'm like, all right. That is a weird cheat code in the simulation when that happens.
You found the remove all stars GTA cheat code.
Yeah. I'm
going to be honest with you. I know generally.
Yeah, this is going to be a very generally episode because I don't know shit about anything, but I just know stuff that I like thinking about. That's about it.
Well, I mean, now's your chance if you want to pivot to some other dad interest you have. But
I mean, if you want to talk about weather for an hour, but I don't know about that.
Dude,
it's either simulation theory or weather.
Because we've had 2 episodes in the past like month about weather. We'll save that one for later.
Yeah, we gotta can that. We gotta let this shit melt first.
Yeah, exactly. All right, simulation theory.
Do you think we live in one?
Some
form of one.
Here's my whole take on that. If we do, I fucking hate it either way. Because why, if you're letting me live in a simulation, does it have to be shit? Like, why are you doing this to us?
Because their player characters are getting all the good stuff. Oh no, we're NPCs.
Oh god.
Let's just give me the name of the episode. Oh no, we're NPCs. That's why we're not. Everyone who is not a billionaire is an NPC. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Because they do their player characters and just do the cheat codes and give them everything.
We are the talk show radio that's on the GTA car radios. That's what we're doing.
What if the episode ended after 9 minutes and 38 seconds and we were just like, well, nothing matters anymore.
Time to go. I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I try not to think about things like that too much because you have already experienced my brain. I think anybody that's been watching for a while has experienced how deep down I can get.
Oh, yeah, you can...
in conspiracy and all that stuff. And do you know what hell theory is? Like the hell dimension theory? Like we all died and this is hell, basically.
Huh.
That's kind of where I'm starting to go.
They just slapped the word theory on the end of that.
Yeah, they're just
They slapped... Someone was just like, God, I feel like I'm in hell right now. They were like, the hell dimension theory.
There is this thought that somewhere around the time that they fired up the Hadron Collider or COVID or something, we all died. And instead of understanding that we've all died, we just shifted into a new timeline where we're all actually in hell.
The weird, like, AI slop timeline where everything is just poorly written and obvious and just a caricature of life and couldn't be made up, but very much could be made up because it's shitty writing.
And there's no way to actually get ahead. Like, you're just, everybody has dreams and aspirations. I do like the idea that I could be the main character every once in a while.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you
main character syndrome.
I sometimes, like, just go into that line of thought to convince myself that things will get better because I'm like, I'm the main character. These are my trials.
Yeah, it makes you think that, like, some other entity is, like, looking out for you, and they're like, no, we can't let his story die. You are the main character. Like, don't worry, everything's going to work out. Just keep doing your thing, and we'll provide.
Which always, I feel like there is a term for this, and I'm not remembering, but it always also brings me to that narrative point where it's like, are you telling the story because it was worth telling, or is the character experiencing things because of the story? Like, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm articulating that correctly, but like, you read a book and you go, wow, this story's crazy. And then you have to sit there and you go, well, it's a story because it was worth telling. And a good story will pull you into that. But the bad stories are like, yeah, you just wrote a character. Like that's what this is. It feels more like it was written as opposed to this was a story.
The world was written around a character.
Right.
Yeah.
That is kind of like, if that makes any sense, that's my take on simulation theory, is like, if we're there, like, which one is it of those two? And if it's a story worth telling, like, when do we get to the part worth telling? Because this all fucking sucks.
Yeah. My take is like, yeah, we probably are, but it doesn't matter because, like, you still have to follow the rules of the simulation anyways. From as far as I can tell. Like, I'm not going to go try and put my arm in a wood chipper to test if we are in one. So I'm just going to assume that that's one of the rules of the simulation. Can't put your arm in a wood chipper. And so I'm like, basically like, well, it's similar to real life because you still got to follow the same rules of physics and, you know, the government and morality and all that. So even if we do live in a simulation, nothing's different.
Yeah.
I guess. Except the writing sucks.
Yeah, the writing does suck. It's all AI slop.
It's very much, everything is turned into like a parody of everything now. So that's how I know that we've reached the AI slop phase of our simulation. They gave up. Like, I think their Dyson Sphere is only putting out like 50% power now. So they had to lay a bunch of people off and they're just using AI for our simulation now.
So one of the simulation theories that I've heard is that we are placed in a simulation by extraterrestrial beings. Like we are being harvested or by an advanced AI kind of situation. But if it was an advanced AI, I feel like it'd be better writing.
Yeah. They focused on the graphics.
Yeah.
They ran it on Unreal Engine 3 to the 4 millionth power, but like they skipped on the writers a little bit.
I don't know, man. I guess like there's so many weird things to consider when it comes to, are we in a simulation though? Like, free will still exists, unfortunately.
The laws of physics too. Like, we have this set of rules in physics for our existence and universe, but I know that sometimes there are documented cases where the laws of physics maybe act a little funny, or they definitely do act funny when, you know, out in space with black holes and stuff. So it's like, well, if, I don't know, our engine, so to speak, can do that, then maybe it's like the simulation going haywire a little bit sometimes.
Yeah, well, I
and
mean,
it's like,
yeah.
I forgot physics motion.
You reached an ungenerated boundary. So
Like, imagine you walked
it's
out.
rendering still.
Imagine you walked outside and you just saw that glitch that often happens in video games, where someone just ragdolls at 1,000,000 miles an hour up into the air.
You know what though? I feel like I'm so desensitized by
you just
video
hear
games.
like a see some dude just get launched.
Yeah, some dude just gets impaled on a pine tree. 'Cause it's but I'm so used to shit like that in video games. I almost feel like my brain would compensate for it and just go, nope, that's the video.
I would
game
be
glitch."
looking for one of the giants in Skyrim. I'd be like, oh! You hear the music, it's like, don't know. There's an enemy nearby.
That'd be something if we just like started to hear music. What is
Like, I'm just sitting here reading a book, and then it's just all of a sudden like, don't know. You're like looking around for an enemy. You're like, I'm at home alone.
or your wife walks in with a slightly unpleased look on her face, and you just immediately assume it's you, and boss music starts playing. You're like, oh fuck! What is
Your wife would be like, babe, stop trying to distract from the situation with your stupid song. I'm like, oh, I thought that was happening naturally. Sorry, I didn't realize it was coming out of my head. No, you are not about to have a serious conversation with me. Thank you. Sorry.
What is that movie where is it Stranger Than Fiction, where his life is narrated and
I
he
think
can
so.
hear it, and I think it's Will Ferrell, and
Yeah.
he can hear it. I always imagine when people talk about simulation theory of any kind like that happening, like someone like you just hear it and nobody else can fucking hear it. And you're
Yeah.
like, who the fuck is saying that?
And that's another thing with the simulation too, is people experience things differently like that. So you know how there's like this thing where some people experience that narrator in their head, the like audio one, and some people don't.
Right.
Do you?
Yes.
And how can you tell? I think I do.
Like I just it's like
I can't
do you
hear
talk to
that
yourself?
voice in my head, but it narrates stuff. Dude, it's.
Do you
it's
talk
weird.
to yourself? Are you a self-talk? I talk to myself all
when
the
I'm
time.
mad?
Oh. I mean, yeah, when I'm mad too, but I talk to myself when I'm working through things and shit.
Actually, I do too, except or if I'm mad, something doesn't work out, I'm like, well, no, this happened because of this. I'm like, all right, Phil, just lock in.
Yeah.
Just lock in.
So I'll be going through stuff in my head and I'll be like, yeah, but if we approach it from this angle, and then my wife will be like, what the fuck is like? What
She's
are you
putting the
doing?
code on the kids and walking out the front door.
She's like, you can't do this, and it's not like a schizophrenic kind of thing where you're hearing someone else.
No,
It's your own inner monologue. But I
It's
hear
you.
it. I also realize that some people don't like actually like. I close my eyes. I think of apple. I see a red, juicy apple in my mind.
Yeah.
Some people just don't see anything.
Yeah,
They
can't.
just think the thought apple, and that to me is unfathomable.
That happens to me. I think of the concept apple. I can't see it. That's why I can't draw for shit. I can't paint, and I'm not like artistic.
No, I think you are. You should get a diagnosis.
Yeah. Yeah, what if I just described autism? I'm pretty sure I did.
But well, kind of. But then like I've talked to people that don't understand what I'm talking about when they're like, that's not real. You can't do that. And I'm like, no, I can't. Like I can visually see something. Like I can close my eyes and work a pencil and draw what I'm seeing.
I'm jealous, dude. I can't.
And I
Can
don't
I
know.
just-
I just never occurred to me that people can't do that.
Yeah. Well, here, I'll show you something and then you can put it on the screen. My daughter asked me to draw me, my wife, her, our friend, and his daughter holding hands with Jack Skellington.
That is from a fucking horror movie.
Yeah.
That's some shit you see. Have you ever heard of Poppy Playtime?
Yeah. Was that YouTube thing where it became really
so
scary?
It's a video game. And it's like my son plays it. Actually, if you want to know what it is, next Sunday he'll be posting his playthrough of the chapter 1, and it's the story about
It's premiering during the Daytona 500.
There we go. It's this story about like these people worked at a toy factory, and I guess the toys became sentient, and they turned on the people and started killing them or whatever. I did not realize how crazy the story is. Luckily, he doesn't give a shit about the story. He just is like, oh, that's Huggy Wuggy.
Yeah.
And so, but that's exactly what that reminded me of. Put that in the drive. I'm going to put it up on the screen. And also put up a picture of Poppy Playtime shit so you guys can understand. I think most parents with a kid that is roughly my oldest son's age that is allowed to watch YouTube knows what Poppy Playtime is, or at least Huggy Wuggy and Kissy Missy. And I'm going to be honest with you, though. I've been playing the games with him because I like to monitor what he does. And
You're like, son, get that Huggy Wuggy.
the games are a little
The
scary.
Kissy Kissy is coming.
You don't actually kill anyone, though. Oh, there's death in there.
Are you just
There's
running
no
for your
dead
life?
bodies. What?
Are you just running for your
Well,
life?
it's like a puzzle game, and it's actually really fucking fun. Like, it's really fun. So there's that. But any parent knows about that. I don't even know how we got over to this, but yeah. Oh, because you were talking about, and you showed me your horrific drawing.
Oh, yeah.
That's what that was. So, but if I probably. The problem with me is if someone asked me to draw something, like when I was apprenticing as a tattoo artist and when I did tattoos for a while, I would stay up till like 2 a.m. working on one aspect of a design, and it would just like badger the shit out of me, and I would be like, this isn't exactly what I want it to look like. So if my kids ask me to draw something, I give them maybe a little better than that, but the half-assed version, stick figures with hair to indicate who's who. But if you were like, hey man, I really want a tattoo, this is what I want, can you draw it up? I'd get my iPad out and my pencil, and I'd get to cooking, and I'd draw you what I think you want. I'd have to, you'd have to give me the style, but then again, I also would probably be like, hey, if you want a tattoo, go talk to the artist, because I know most artists are going to want to do their own thing. That's a whole other
They
conversation.
know what they can do.
Yeah, we're not talking about tattoos today.
They're NPCs anyway.
Although
It doesn't matter.
we will talk about tattoos. I need to get with Marcus and go ahead and schedule that, and the other tattoo shop that wanted to talk to us.
All right, so back to simulation theory.
There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
Back to two unqualified guys in a treehouse talking about simulation theory.
So what makes you, let me ask you this, aside from the little glitches here and there, what is like your for sure in a simulation?
I wouldn't say sure, but it, honest to God, might just be mild tinges of schizophrenia. I don't know. I just I get this like weird ancient sense that like all this shit's been done before, like actually happened before, and it's just repeating over and over again, but in a, I guess, fabricated way, but we're still somehow able to kind of feel and,
So it's
experience.
like one big giant
Yeah.
groundhog day.
I don't know. It's just, yeah, this is a terrible way to podcast, but it's just a gut feeling that we've done this shit before. It's been done before, and it's not actually happening right now as it did, but it did at one point. And they're kind of testing to see how things would have gone to create, different offshoot societies and stuff. And they're just collecting data. They're trying to see how different civilizations thrive and survive.
I could see it. I think that human nature is cyclical. So
yeah, history doesn't repeat itself, but it rhymes.
Right, yeah. And so
people are just people at the end of the day, and always will be and always have been.
Yeah.
Like, people have always had the same urges. We just have more nuanced names for them now. It's just, people have always been people. There have always been some shitty people. There have always been some good people. And so just the time and environment and circumstances change, but people are always the same.
I can see what you mean, though, because like I guess it'd be like, okay, that empire collapsed. Let's spin it up, expand the knowledge parameters.
Run that shit back.
Expand technology parameters, and let's try it again. Okay, this time they
didn't rally together to beat this one guy or whatever. They just gave up. So what do we need to do to make them not give up?
Right. We gave this one guy dentures made of cow and slave teeth. He is this insane revolutionary. He's going to lead a band of other revolutionaries because, they want to fight against taxation. That's where we're going to start. That's our jump off point.
Yeah.
And then boom.
What an amazing perspective. We're just it actually all just started with America.
Yeah. Well, if just going on your theory, right, of cycles repeating themselves, we're at the end of the American Empire.
Oh man.
And so, but
I'm too lazy to do some revolutioning.
You think about and then
they just cut the simulation off right there. They're like, wrong character.
You just
pick a different main character. That guy sucks.
I just think about if that were true, you think about the Holy Roman Empire and you think about the Christian Empire.
Nah, man, we're different. We're America.
And the Christian
famous
Empire,
last words.
Yeah, the Christian Empire didn't really die as much as it just evolved, because you think about the Crusades and all that stuff, and then, but one could realistically say that the end of that empire was when America decided to. So they're testing other ways that empires can end as well. It's not just a total collapse. An empire ended. Or
there's some alien with a clipboard right
separated.
now. He's like, wow, I can't believe an entire empire could just collapse due to nihilism and memes. Wow.
He's like, we're going to have to tone down the nihilism next round.
They imploded.
It's crazy, though, because I was watching the January 6th footage, because they've had it showing a lot lately. And
I can't believe that was 5 years ago.
I know.
That's half a decade.
Bizarre. But also, I was just thinking about, if people that most would consider the dumbest in society were able to organize like that and work so aggressively, why the fuck are we letting this happen?
Because we're nihilists.
And we might be nihilists, but also simulation might be stopping us from doing it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to blame it on the simulation.
Babe, I promise. It's the simulation that's been holding me back from my success. That's it.
There's your excuse for everything.
Bro, let me get this simulation shit in order, and I'll be good.
Let me expand my parameters a bit here.
Yeah.
No, I don't necessarily submit to the simulation theory as much as I submit to the multiverse theory. I will say that.
Yeah, that's another fun one.
I just believe that time and space are ever expanding, and you think about the way that time and space separate with infinite possibilities on either side. There is a universe where the Dad Voice podcast is bigger than Rogan, and we're doing great, and we're thriving, and
good for them.
We're so successful there, so we're vicariously living through them. But
good for them.
Yeah.
That is me, isn't it? God damn.
But
I got stuck in the universe where the Patriots are in the Super Bowl fucking again.
Again, yeah.
Oh my God.
Here we go.
Dude, this is getting boring.
It is. That's the other thing, is that would lend to your theory that we're in a simulation, because fucking why is it every goddamn time the Patriots?
Yeah. What is so special about Boston?
They're just like, oh fuck.
I'll get killed if I just keep going like this. People from Boston. I'm like, what?
You'd be like, we're going to find this fuck and we're going to kill him right in the street.
Yeah.
We love New England because we're stupid as fuck.
I know. I'm like, Boston, you're not New York.
Now they're coming for me.
You're not New York. What are you, Chicago East? I don't know. Why do you get to be in so many Super Bowls, have Larry Bird in the 80s?
To be fair, Massachusetts is the number one in education. I just don't.
Yeah, that's a well-run ass state. I'll say that. I guess I could get crucified because I've never lived there. But.
No, I think that pretty much across the board, they're the number one economically. They're doing really well. I don't know if economically, but their economy is doing well. Educationally, they're doing great. They have they're the happiest state, I think, as well. Every time I think about that, I think about I don't know why I keep referencing Family Guy in this fucking podcast, but that's probably because that's when I was a teenager.
Dude, I feel like we
both
both watched that a lot
when we were
growing up.
kids. Yeah. But it just reminds me of that one episode where they openly talk about how they pissed off Boston, and it's that fat, greasy dude. And he's like, "Dear Family Guy fucks, fuck you." Like, that's exactly what Patriots fans in my fucking head.
Dear Roger Goodell.
Suck my chode. Yeah, no, oh man, I feel like the guy in charge of the Super Bowl part of the simulation has called in sick a few days, and so now they're just like, run the old one. What, we have a little bit of the...
Those teams played 8 years ago.
Yeah.
It's okay.
We have a bit of the Seahawks and
only
a bit of the
32
Patriots
teams.
code. Just push them together. There we go.
Yeah,
That's this
push them
year.
together. Oh, by the way, we accidentally let it slip in there that Sam Darnold is going to be... Okay, yeah, and also let's try and prove that we can work with the simulation. Let's make predictions real quick for the Super Bowl, and then this episode will come out way after, but we'll just see if we were right.
Okay.
Seahawks 24-21, Sam Darnold, Super Bowl MVP.
You think so?
Yeah, because that's what I want. Either that or Jackson Smith and Jigba, Super Bowl MVP.
It's hard. Because as a
I'm
Bills
pulling
fan...
for Drake May because I'm a Carolina boy, too.
As a Bills fan, I know what Stephon Diggs can do.
Yeah, so
Okay.
does his personal chef.
Jesus Christ. Refresh my memory. We're going to cut this. Refresh my memory on that because I know there was something.
He beat the shit out of her in December.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah. As a Bills fan, I have experience watching Stephon Diggs play. He's good, despite beating the shit out of his personal chef. I'll cut that. That's just me.
That's some rich people shit. I beat the shit out of my personal chef.
What was the reason?
I think she was like asking for money that he owed her or something, possibly, and then he like grabbed her by the neck while they were talking,
and then he got signed by the Patriots so he could
just
pay
piece
her.
of
It's
shit
fine.
stuff.
Yeah, you know.
They pushed his court case off until after the Super Bowl too. This isn't going to the podcast, but it's such bullshit, dude. It's obvious. I don't
like Stephon Diggs as a person. I never have. I thought he had a shit attitude, and I understood why Buffalo got rid of him.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He's good at the game. I know he's not as good now because he got injured or whatever, but yeah,
he's old. He's 30 now.
Yeah. Well, fuck.
That
So
sucks.
is Josh Allen, dude.
Yeah.
And he's got like 1 or 2 more good years of his prime if we don't win. Anyways, it's not about the Bills. It's about the Seahawks and the Patriots.
Yeah, it's about the simulation.
I will give you Seahawks. I think they're going to hit. I think it's going to be 21-14. I think this is Drake May's first Super Bowl. He's riding a high, and I think that you have someone seasoned like Sam Darnold and a team like the Seahawks that has been reliable all year long. Not that the Patriots haven't, but the Patriots had a really easy season.
They did. They had an easy
going in, and I think that the Seahawks had to fight a little bit harder to get here, and so I think that the pressure of being in the big game is going to probably get to Drake May a little bit. Rooting for him, Carolina boy from the Carolinas. Hope the best for you. It's also fucked Patriots.
It's also like I can't pull for the Patriots.
Right, yeah,
that would be crazy.
As a Bills fan,
and as a Panthers fan too, they beat us in the Super Bowl in the mid 2000s. Like,
as a Bills fan, they're part of the reason
they're your nightmare every day.
Yeah. And we beat them once this year. And I had confidence that if we would have made it against them in the playoffs, we would have beaten them. But anyways, I think...
Try again next year.
Yeah.
I know you've been saying that for about 7 years now.
Dude, Joe Brady's our head coach. I
forgot about that. Speaking of simulation, wow.
Yeah, he cracked the fucking code, didn't he? I don't know how... Like, dude, I thought... First off, I thought he got promoted too early to offensive coordinator. Now he got promoted to head coach. I'm glad that the dude's excited, but Bean should have gone. Again, we're not talking about the fucking Bills. I think that I know I have openly called for Sean McDermott to be fired, but the whole like asterisk was Brandon Beane too.
Yeah.
I don't think Sean McDermott should have gone before Beane, and I don't think Sean McDermott should have been fired because he was a bad coach. I think Sean McDermott should have been let go to go be with a team where he just fits there better because he's had 9 years to figure it out, and he did get us out of
Sometimes a fresh start is just what anybody
yeah,
needs.
I think so. I do not wish ill on Sean McDermott at all. And even if I did, who gives a fuck? He's a fucking NFL coach. He makes more money than I can ever dream of.
Yeah.
Fuck him. But also, I think it was unfair. That's what I'll say. And that's all I'm going to say about the Bills. I'm nervous as fuck about next season. We'll see how it goes. Super Bowl, I think 21-14 Seahawks, maybe 21-17 if the Patriots can pull out a field goal towards the end. That's kind of what I see happening. I haven't been paying attention to their late game on either team. But that's mostly because anytime that my team plays against the team, I know our back half focus is there. So, and most of my experience watching New England this year has been against the Bills.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm not nearly as well versed in football as you. I just wanted to put in a prediction, and I didn't want to just be like, yeah, me too.
You got to make sure that you put yourself in history.
Yeah.
You never know. You can get it right.
Yeah. I'm not betting any money on it. So there's that. But on Kalshi, you can bet if I'm right or wrong.
You can bet on real life stuff, which is terrifying.
That's crazy.
Boy, that'll work out well when people start trying to manipulate the outcomes of real life events.
Oh, God. It's going to be so bad. It's getting so bad. Everything's... The simulation needs a reboot.
It's in its AI slop phase.
Yeah, we're in the AI slop of simulation.
Yeah,
I don't know.
We definitely drifted.
We did. We got into football.
Yeah, we drifted big time. We were hitting the simulation stuff really hard the first 30 minutes, and then we drifted.
I feel like I have run out of thoughts on the simulation stuff.
Which is fine.
So we got through, it's because I've noticed, though, that when we span a few different subjects, we tend to get a little more interest. So, and if you guys like that, do us a favor and comment below and let us know if you like us hitting on multiple things. What are other dad interests of yours? Because today's your dad interest.
Oh, so it's not just dad interests, today's focus, simulation theory.
No, it doesn't have to be. We can change it. Dude, my dad interest, when it comes my time next episode, it's going to be like Batman and Dune and computers and fucking nerd you've seen my house.
Yeah.
You've seen my house. I have like $6,000 worth of Destiny memorabilia. Like I'm a fucking nerd. I have Pokemon cards, dude. I'm going to be spanning all. The simulation theory was just one that has been on our subject list for months now. And I wanted to let you get it out. But what are your other dad interests?
Oh, vintage hats, dude. 100%. Of course, the one time I'm not wearing one.
Yeah. No, but you were in the Dad Blast last night, so I'll put a little screen cap of your hat. Man, you were excited about that hat too.
Yeah, dude, I love vintage baseball caps. Yeah, it's because I'm fucking bald. That's a big reason for it. But it's just something that I can do, and every different hat tells a story. You know, like, oh, made in USA. Let's look at that tag. Okay, this was probably made around 1991. Blah blah blah. It's just fun, man. It's you got vintage baseball caps, vintage just college football team caps. Just it's so cool. There's a hat for everything, man.
How do you like break down like what qualifies as vintage and like because there's
I think the technical aspect of it is like anything over 20 years old, but vintage hats really I'd prefer like 25 years and older. So it's one of those things where I can display it on my head literally, and it's just fun.
I want to ask you, I'm going to ask you what your favorites are, but you had an idea about a separate channel for your social media.
My secret faceless channel.
Yeah, and I think you should still do that. So I won't ask you to send me pictures for it, but tell me about a few of your favorites from your collection.
Yeah, I guess favorite style of hat. is like a 90s snapback, but not the trucker hat, you know, the mesh and all that, the big foam front, but just the fitted snapback just looks very clean, crisp.
That was before like the lid style hat where
Yeah.
they started putting like the stiffer material in the front.
Yeah, fitted
like,
hats.
Like the hat I wear on here a lot
Yeah.
is a fitted hat. And it was like it's
and that was the 2000s was like fitted hats.
Yeah.
That was definitely the thing.
I still
now
love a good
hat
fitted
collectors are starting to dip into, you know, collecting fitted hats from the 2000s, whereas like maybe 5 years ago it was like just a fitted hat, dude. But
Yeah.
now they're starting to become vintage and they're older, and you know there was different runs of different hats, and so it's just really cool. It is very much like Pokemon cards.
I was
Too,
going to say
because you have your different runs of different hats. You have custom hats. You have holographic Charizard hats. You know, that'd be sick.
the holographic Charizard hat.
Yeah, that would be sick. But
is the go-to.
you know, some of the coolest hats are old defunct minor league baseball teams too, because they were so creative with their mascots, their logos. It's just cool. And obviously, I have a couple of hats of our old, you know, minor league baseball team, the Greensboro Bats. Those are a couple of my favorites.
Yeah.
Because as a kid, I was, you know, going to the games all the time. And
Is that a separate team from the Grasshoppers, or they became the Okay.
They became the Grasshoppers.
Okay.
Essentially.
Wasn't there a team called the Mud Turtles or something too?
The Mudcats.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. See, you know about all
Yeah.
that stuff. No, Pokemon cards, which we can touch more on this on my nerd shit, because my oldest has gotten into Pokemon over the last year or two. And I've been trying to collect with him, and I sell the ones that he doesn't really care about. Although, like, I've started to just kind of hand him off.
Yeah, dude, this holographic Charizard is so trite and overdone, son. Just let me take it.
Yeah, well,
Boring.
He's got actually some really impressive ones, and I have always been, you pull your packs, I'll pull my packs. If you want to trade, we can trade, but whatever you get is yours. You don't owe Dad any of that. Like that's your cards, and he has pulled some heat. I got him I got so excited that one of the first big, like, I bought him the Elite Trainer box for the 151 collection that came out back when it was easy to get cards. And the only thing I'll say about the Pokemon cards is that was huge for him, and he pulled some crazy cards from that. But the only thing I'll say about Pokemon cards right now is, like, scalpers are ruining it. Like, my 8-year-old kid, like, and some dickhead will probably pop up and go, well, are adults not allowed to have hobbies too? It's like, yeah, adults are allowed to have hobbies, but why the fuck is an adult buying 35 Elite Trainer boxes, and my kid's just like, I just want one $50 box where I can crack 10 packs, and you're like, sorry bro, I gotta do it. So what I've started doing is I'll just go to the store and stand outside with a loaded firearm, and then I get them for free.
Hack.
Dad hack. Dad hack. I think we've talked about the vintage hat thing before, and when I first saw you posting about vintage hats on social media, I was like, wow, this one's a really interesting hobby. And
Boy, that's hyper specific. I bet that guy from high school is also autistic.
it was hyper specific, and I was like, very kind of like, how's he making a living off of that? And then I was like, oh, he purchased a house. He's doing great. Vintage hats is a market that I just didn't know existed. And then it made me think about things like this thing that I constantly think of like we all are looking at life through our lens.
Yeah.
Right? And so we've already, even with this podcast, we've already connected with people that I'm like, how are we connecting with these people? Not that they're like completely opposite of us in terms of beliefs and thoughts and stuff like that, but it's just like, didn't expect that person to be interested in what I have to say. And then you realize that, like, dude, everybody's a different person. And like, your perfect example, I came up in hardcore music. I do not understand pop. And every year, pop music blows it out of the water that it's pop. It's called pop because it's popular or whatever.
It make my brain feel good.
And I just had never understood for the longest time. I'm like, dude, this music sucks. And then I had to think about like, oh, everyone's brain composition is different. They hear things differently. They view things differently. So that I'm the outlier.
I was going to say, pop music is scientifically engineered to make your dopamine receptors fire off. So I think there's something wrong with you.
Yeah. Well, hardcore does it for me, and metal. And like, I'm telling you right now, I don't like.
Dude,
the
you know how many
hardest list
times
I
I've
got.
wanted to just be free in like this nice little movie montage moment, just dancing to Sabrina Carpenter? That just sounds fun.
I do. What is the song? Espresso.
And people, yeah.
The way that song bops definitely hits.
Yeah.
But I say that, and then like, have you listened to Julia Wolf before? Hang on, I'm just gonna play it for you real quick. I'll talk about it while you listen. But I found Julia Wolf, and this is her popular song, but I found her through a song called "Loser," and like she's doing this thing where they kind of mix metal instruments into pop a little bit, and it is so good in my brain. You know what I mean?
It's almost like post-metal pop.
It is, yeah. That's so. A lot of people. Have you listened to Sleep Token?
Yeah.
Okay, so Sleep Token.
Not like a lot, but obviously I'm one of those normies who just knows about them now because everybody does.
Right, of course. My wife latched on. They're like her favorite band now, and I'm the one who found them. I showed them to her. She got really into them. And like for me, Sleep Token, I actually don't hate them. I don't like, I have no disdain for them. I think they're good musicians. I kind of like, and I appreciate bands like that. And I appreciate artists like Julia Wolf in particular because they serve a very particular function. It's a bridging function that opens doors for people. Turnstile is doing the same thing. Turnstile.
Yeah. They were on like Jimmy Fallon show and stuff.
Yeah. They're not metal. They did just get the best metal release Grammy or whatever. Best rock album, but best metal song. Whoever's doing those is lazy over there.
Someone's trying to piss you off.
Yeah. But I do love Turnstile. And I've been following Turnstile since they were a small hardcore band from Baltimore. And like they're the way that they were introduced to me was, oh, these are members of Trapped Under Ice. And I know we've talked about Turnstile before. But Turnstile is the same way. It's functioning as a bridge band. So they're now in the pop ethosphere. And they are now like, so because it was never for me when I got into metal, and I don't know how we derailed over to music, but it is, I think that's a mutual interest we have. So we might as well close on it. When it came down to music for me, it wasn't just like one day I was like, oh shit, here we go. Like, I just like heavy music out of nowhere.
Me like this.
Yeah, it started with like there were slow transitions into, and then it was like my parents, we went to church. I found bands like Skillet, who now I think are the dumbest fucking bands, but they were important because Skillet opened the door to Linkin Park, and Hybrid Theory is one of the best records in my opinion that will ever exist, and is one of the most important albums in my life. And Linkin Park opened the door to heavier stuff. Slipknot, I got into Slipknot, Cold Chamber, nu metal, and then I ended up getting into hardcore and post-hardcore with, bands like on the hardcore side, there was Terror.
It is those bridge bands because it was like a day to remember for me. And then all of a sudden I was like, I'm driving to basketball practice and listening to Recon in my car.
Yeah,
like, who
dude.
the fuck is this?
I'm so glad you said Recon because like Recon was huge for me. That was like the next step is like I listened to hardcore bands, of course, like New York is full of them. But then like and Snapcase was huge where I was from. So grew up.
Heard that one.
They're
I heard
like,
one obscure one that you knew, and I was like, nailed it.
They're hardcore royalty up in New York, but they're everywhere really. But like then that bridge ended up taking me into Recon and the Acacia Strain, which is I've said a million times my favorite band. Bayside, which is my it depending on my mood, it's either the Acacia Strain or Bayside. One of those is my favorite band, but they're both equally important to me. And then but like bands like Recon were so important, and like that got into like just deeper and deeper. And then eventually I was like, man, I want to make my own music. And so we started doing this. But like these bands, these artists like Julia Wolf, bands like Sleep Token are super important because it creates that bridge and it allows
it creates
you to,
like a space where people can feel comfortable to dip their toes in.
right. And people go, oh, like there's going to be somebody who listens to Loser. There's a heavy part in there. And Julia Wolf did a song with Drake.
Really?
Yeah. It's called Doghouse. Have you ever heard that song?
No.
So she did the opening part. I'm not a big Drake fan. And also we're getting close to time, so I don't want to listen to the whole song, but it's called Doghouse if you want to check it out. It provides this special function that gets people over and they hear, I can't remember what the other song I'm thinking of by Julia Wolf is, but there's a, and I don't know why I've listened to the record like on repeat for the last like 5 weeks. It's got like a breakdown in it and everything. And like, it's, somebody's going to hear that and they're going to go, I need more of that. Who do I?
That activated something in me.
Yeah, and that's going to bring people up. I can appreciate pop music. I love rap music. I love old school, like New York hip hop. Like all of that stuff definitely scratches the itch. It's just metal and hardcore do it the best. But yeah, man, I know we kind of just went everywhere, and then I ended up taking over the music conversation, which this was supposed to be your episode, so I apologize. But I think we might end up just like maybe over the next few episodes kind of hitting some more dad interest stuff. And, you know, I really hope we get some more dad vices soon.
Yeah,
because
nice.
we haven't had one in a long time, and I love doing episodes on those.
You check the email, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we should get notifications.
Yeah.
That say, so the perfect lead into, hey, if you want dad advice, which is where we take what you ask or a request from you, or where you ask for advice on a subject, or you just want to hear our thoughts on a subject, you can email us at the dadvoicepod@gmail.com, subject line dadvice, and then put in the email who you are, what you want us to talk about, what you want us to address, any questions you want answered. If you don't want your name mentioned, you can just say, hey, keep me anonymous, and we'll do that. I think it is a good time to wrap it up because I've already started the dad advice bit.
You did. You started the wrap up. We're wrapped.
Did you have any other thoughts?
Nope.
No thoughts.
Just keep
dad.
listening to us and clicking the buttons.
Clicking the buttons. Dad formations. Hey, winter's almost over. We're getting close, okay? That seasonal depression should be easing up a little bit.
Yeah, then you can go back to your regular depression. But
Yeah.
at least you're not dealing with two.
Woo, normal
Yay,
depression.
we're getting there.
We're almost there. You're doing great. Make sure to bundle up and wear a coat. It's still going to be cold for a little bit longer, although next week we have like a day that's randomly 60 degrees down here in the south. I think that's it. I'm proud of you.
Proud of you. Good job for whatever you're doing.
Good job. We're proud of you.
Even if it's something evil.
Even if your dad won't say it
Proud
to
of you for knowing who you truly are.
That's right. That's right. I think that's a good spot to call it. The Dad Voice Pod on all socials. It'll be on the cue card after we're done talking. You can like and subscribe here. You can follow us on any of the normal podcast platforms. Do us a favor. If you like what we're doing, give us a rating. You don't have to give us like a whole review, but like a 5-star rating does help if you think we're deserving of it. If you want to talk shit, I only read 5-star reviews, so you're gonna have to give us 5 stars.
Good way to get directly inside his head.
That's right, because
you can make him so mad.
It'll work. Honestly, you might get your own episode just from doing that. So, if you want to run your shit, go ahead, 5-star review and talk all the shit you want.
Well, drop a pin, bitch.
Yeah, I don't read 1-star reviews. I'm not allowed to anymore. Also, a thing that I've mentioned a few episodes back that I still kind of want to do is like, if you want to shout out your dad or a good dad that you know, or dad that's doing great in your life, you can either email us at the dadvoicepod at gmail.com, and just use subject line dad shout out. And that these subject lines are important, by the way, because I separate them into folders. If they don't land in one of those folders, you're not going to get it. Okay. But you can do dad shout out, give us your dad's name, or you can comment on our YouTube videos and say, hey, I'd like to shout out my dad. Or you could be like, I want to call out a dad, and then we'll start another. If we get
It's
enough
like
of those,
how this local radio station, 102 Jams, in the mornings, they have the virtual slap session that you call in talking about anybody that you want to virtually slap. Except
William
ours is
shit.
just like meeting other dads in a parking lot. Who you want us to have some smoke with?
yeah,
I'll do it for views, dude.
I'll fight shitty dads.
I'll get my ass beat.
I have no issues with that. I will fight an asshole dad. Even if I get my ass beat, I'll still do it. So anyways, yeah, if you want us to fight your dad, if you want us to shout your dad out, if you want us to fight a random dad, that's fine. We'll do it all for views.
That'd be cool.
Oh, dude, yeah, Dad Fight Club, except we're very public about
Roving
it.
bands of dad vigilantes. We're just going around beating dads' asses.
But, yeah, I think that's a good stopping point. We'll see you guys next time.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.